On New Year's, my niece shared a family emergency funding appeal under my daughter's name, and $26,000 poured in overnight. When inquiries began for the funds, my sister stated, "Your kid's quite the faker." Mom barked, "Make your daughter absorb the blame and pay it back." I remained serene. I accessed the payout settings, and the bank account was. My blood ran cold that New Year's Eve, not from the chilly air, but from a screen. A fundraiser for my daughter, saying she was in an urgent medical crisis. Only problem? My daughter was perfectly healthy, giggling just a few feet away. And the people behind it? My own family. What would you do when your loved ones exploit your child for money, right under your nose? It was 12:17 a.m. on New Year's, and a push alert slammed into my phone. Emergency fund for Ava. Urgent family crisis. I saw my niece's face in the thumbnail, but the headline screamed my daughter's name. Ava, with a heart emoji. And then, a picture of my Ava from the fall. The one where she's rocking that oversized yellow beanie from Target, holding a hot chocolate like it's a championship trophy. I hadn't posted that picture anywhere. My sister must have grabbed it from our shared family album. I was standing in my mother's kitchen, still in my boots, because the floor was sticky with spilled Prosecco. The living room was a cacophony of Happy New Year, like we were all in some kind of bubbly commercial. But all I could do was stare at that link. Nora, my wife, leaned over. "What's that?" she asked, a frown creasing her brow. I just handed her the phone. She started reading the blurb aloud, slowly, like she couldn't quite believe her own eyes. Ava needs urgent help. Medical emergency. Single mom can't cover it alone. Please donate and share. Nora looked at me, then back at the phone, then back at me again. Her voice was quiet, but laced with a sharp edge of disbelief. "I'm right here," she said. "Also, we have insurance." I tapped the link. The donation counter was ticking up like a slot machine. $40, $75, $200. I refreshed the page. $510. The comments flowed. "Praying for sweet Ava. Hang in there, sis. Just lost my job, but gave what I could." My niece, Bella, bounced into the kitchen then, a sparkler fizzing in her hand, her eyes bright. "Uncle Max, did you see my post? We're already at like $600. This is going to go viral." Before you wonder why I didn't smash the phone right then, let me introduce myself. I'm Max, 39, IT support lead in Cleveland, Ohio. My car is a 2014 Subaru Outback with a dented bumper. My mortgage is $1,950 a month, refinanced at the absolute worst time. I drink too much gas station coffee, and I keep a roll of quarters in my glove box because the laundromat near our house eats cards every other week. I'm the quiet helper. Always have been. My sister, Tessa, she's the golden child. Let me give you two quick examples. When her AC died in July, Mom loaned her $2,200 for a new compressor. Called it a love gift. When my alternator stranded me on I-90 at midnight, Mom asked if I'd tried turning the car off and on again. Another one. Tessa's wedding shower had a signature drink and a dessert table. Nora and I did a potluck for our reception so nobody would feel pressured, and Mom spent 2 hours listing the things that wouldn't travel well. I put my thumb on the screen and scrolled. The page declared, "Funds will support urgent hospitalization and recovery for Ava. Goal, $25,000. A little progress bar was already a third full. Why is my kid in the title? I asked Bella, my voice tighter than I intended. She blinked at me like I'd asked why the sky was blue. Because people know her. It's for family. For what family crisis? I pressed. Bella just shrugged. You know, Grandma's situation. A second alert pinged. $1,500 from Anonymous. Then another, $10. Love you, girl. My stomach dropped. I stepped into the living room, gripping my phone like it was my last lifeline. Mom, I said, holding the phone up, what is this? My mother didn't even look up from her folding chair. Happy New Year, honey, she chirped, clinking an empty glass in the air. It says Ava's in the hospital. I insisted. She's not. Tessa slid over, arms wide for a hug, glitter on her cheekbones shimmering like a disco ball. Max, don't make it a thing. We needed an angle. An angle? I echoed, my voice incredulous. People donate more when there's a kid, she said, like she was teaching me about couponing. Nora placed a reassuring hand on my back. Take a breath, she whispered. Ava, oblivious, tugged my sleeve with sticky fingers. Can I have another Sprite? In the background, the donation page hit $2,800. I could see the little avatars popping up like confetti. This is fraud, I said quietly, the words feeling heavy on my tongue. Tessa rolled her eyes. It's family, she countered, as if those two words magically canceled out loss. Grandma's behind on the mortgage, and the propane bill doubled. It's a crisis. Then Mom, without missing a beat, said, we'll fix it later. Smile for once. It's New Year's. I didn't smile. I watched the number jump to $3,300, and something inside me shifted. Like a lock I'd had my whole life, just clicked the other way. Before I go deeper, I should back up. I'm the oldest. Tessa is 3 years younger. Our dad bailed when I was 15, and Mom reworked the story so there were no villains. He had his reasons, she'd say, like we were reading a book with missing pages. From then on, I did the taxes, read the meter, patched the drywall. When Tessa overdrafted her checking account in college, I moved money from my savings and drove 3 hours to show her how to set up alerts. When Mom's roof leaked, I rented a ladder, patched the shingles, and heated canned soup on a camp stove in her kitchen because the power was out. Helper things. Quiet things. No complaints, because complaining felt like adding weight to a backpack I'd already committed to carrying. Tessa learned a different lesson. I don't think she's a bad person. She's just from a world where the cushion appears before you hit the ground. She started a candle business on Instagram that never sold beyond sympathy purchases, and Mom called it entrepreneurship. She didn't pay the city tax and called me crying when she got a $318 penalty notice. I drove to City Hall on my lunch break. She totaled her Honda Civic, and Mom told everyone the stop sign was in the wrong place. Meanwhile, I quietly worked my way up from help desk to lead. My everyday details were boring. A Costco card, a wall calendar with oil change dates, a spreadsheet named Bills Jan 2025.xlsx. I graduated from renting to buying a small house in Old Brooklyn with terrible wallpaper and a garage door that squealed. I stopped asking for praise because it always seemed to bounce off. Here's the thing. I don't need confetti. I just need fair. Money has been the sore spot since Thanksgiving. Mom asked me to spot her $800 for propane because her budget was locked up. I paid the bill online with her login and told her it bought time. We'll figure something out after the holidays, I said, because that's what helpers say when they're stalling. Then December hit, and the mail hit back. A delinquent mortgage notice in a window envelope. Red stamp, urgent, past due, $3,962.17. Interest and fees could tack on another $240. I sat on Mom's couch and did the math. She spends $140 a month on a landline, $85 on premium cable for Hallmark movies, and buys scratch-offs like they're vitamins. I suggested a budget. She nodded, then asked if I could order a replacement Keurig because hers spits. So, Tessa said on New Year's Eve, I had this idea. The idea arrived live after midnight, not in conversation or group text, but as a donation page with my child's name as the bait. The layout was slick. Bella's good at that. She's 19 and can make anything look like a branded campaign. They had a goal, $25,000, a heartfelt paragraph about our girl Ava, and a list of expenses that sounded official. Hospital copay, $2,800. Specialist consult, $1,200. In-home support, $4,600. Rent relief, $3,800. Fuel, winter $1,100. Miscellaneous pharmacies, $640. Credit consolidation, $7,200. It was like someone asked ChatGPT to make a crisis budget and then threw darts at numbers. At 12:29 a.m., my work phone buzzed with a fraud alert because people were sharing the page to neighborhood Facebook groups and tagging me. One message read, "Prayers for Ava. Max call if you need anything." Another, "I donated $100. Hope she's okay." Then my cousin in Pittsburgh texted, "So sorry to hear about the hospital. We're coming to Cleveland next week. Can we visit?" I messaged Bella, "Take the page down now." She replied with 3 crying emojis. "Uncle Max, don't be like this." It's working. I walked back into the living room, gripping my phone like it could anchor me. "Turn it off," I said to Tessa. She was on the couch, literally counting imaginary money. "People want to help," I stated, my voice low but firm. "They want to help who they think they're helping. Nora put her hand on Ava's shoulders, gently steering her toward the den. Go see if Grandma has more popcorn, she said. Ava skipped away, oblivious. Tessa sighed dramatically. Fine, we'll update the wording. Chill, I said. You can't update a lie into the truth. Mom finally stood. Enough, she snapped. You're making a scene in my house. Your house is the scene. I shot back and immediately regretted it because I hate the taste of that kind of sentence in my mouth. But the number on my screen rolled to $6,420, and the comments multiplied, and my chest felt like someone had Velcroed a hot iron to it. I should have left. Instead, I stared at the phone and thought about my spreadsheet. Mortgage due on the 1st, $1,950. Car insurance on the 5th, $168. Utilities auto pay on the 7th, $244. Ava's after-school STEM club, $80, due next Friday. January is a hungry month, and we had planned for regular hungry, not this. By 1:47 a.m., the page hit $12,200. A guy from my bowling league named Raul gave $500 and wrote, "For your little one." I closed my eyes. At 2:12 a.m., a woman I didn't recognize donated $2,000 with a heart and wrote, "My daughter did a lemonade stand for Ava this summer. Please let her know we love her." I scrolled her profile and realized we'd met at a block party. She had a photo of Ava at the chalk table. At 3:05 a.m., when the house finally quieted and the cheap fireworks stopped popping in the neighborhood, the total read $18,440. I lay awake on my childhood bed with a sad floral comforter and thought about the $800 propane bill I'd paid 5 weeks ago. Money, when it moves, feels like a current. You can swim with it and make it to shore, or you can stand still and pretend you won't get swept. I promised myself 2 things. I wouldn't scream, and I'd get proof. The escalation came in steps, like someone climbing a staircase without looking down. Step 1. By 9:10 a.m. on New Year's Day, the total hit $26,030. Nora read the names out loud while we made pancakes on Mom's gas stove because the electric griddle had died. Your boss, Drew, $300, she said. Your old neighbor, Mrs. Hardy, $50. And remember when Ava fed our cat? Oh, and Michelle from church sent $1,000. She wrote, for Ava's specialist. Specialist, I mumbled, flipping a pancake that I then burned. Step 2. People started asking questions by noon. My friend Malik texted, "What hospital? I can swing by." My Aunt Liza messaged, "Why didn't you call us? We have a health savings account we can share." Emma from Ava's class wrote, "Nora, can Ava FaceTime? My mom says we can bring soup." Tessa senses a challenge like sharks sense blood. She beat us to them, replying in comments and DMs. Max asked for privacy. It's delicate. There's legal stuff. She made me look like the home monitor of suffering. I asked her in the kitchen, "Are you out of your mind?" She snapped, "Do not talk to me like I'm stupid in front of my kid." And Bella, perched on a stool with a bagel, swiped to refresh the page and declared, "We should move the goal to $30,000. Momentum matters." Step 3. At 2:44 p.m., the first crack. Cousin Luke, the blunt one who sells HVAC and thinks everything is a scam, commented publicly, "Which hospital? I know a billing manager at redacted hospital. I can negotiate the copay." 20 minutes later. Also, this says rent relief. Whose rent? Max owns. Tessa replied from the fundraiser account, "Please stop harassing this family during a crisis." People liked her comment. A few sent heart emojis. Step 4. At 3:12 p.m., Mom called me into the den. She had the page open on her ancient iPad with the cracked corner I'd offered to replace twice. "Don't ruin this," she said without looking up. "Your sister is finally doing something useful." "By lying about my kid," I said flatly. "We're one family," she insisted. "Money is money. You know I'm months behind, so ask for help honestly," I retorted. She looked over the rim of her readers. "People don't give for old women behind on bills, Max. They give for children." She said it with that sad, practical tone, like she was discussing grocery unit prices. Step 5. By dinner time, the group chat thickened. Screenshots were bouncing between cousins. Luke texted, "If Ava is not actually sick, this is fraud." Bella replied with a screenshot of the platform's FAQ about personal emergencies and wrote, "Read the TOS." Luke wrote, "I did, admin." And that word stuck to my brain like a burr. Admin. Nora put a glass of water in my hand. You're pale, she said. Ava was playing Monopoly with her older cousin on the carpet, asking why there were so many jail cards. I sat on Mom's floral chair, opened the fundraiser link, and tapped the three-dot menu in the top right. About the admin list wasn't visible unless you logged in. I stepped outside to the porch, opened a new tab, and created an account using my work email. Seconds later, I confirmed through my phone. I toggled back, tapped Report, then Contact Organizer. A form slid up. At the bottom, a tiny link, View Payouts. That one required access. I didn't have it. Bella came to the doorway and squeaked, "Uncle Max, what are you doing?" I think she saw my face, because she quickly added, "Don't be weird. I want to know where it goes," I said. "Grandma's," she said. "Duh. How do you know?" "You just set a bank account. It pays out automatically in 2 to 3 business days," she said, like she was telling me the weather. "Who said it?" She bit her lip. "I can't say. But that lasted for seconds. Me and Mom." Grandma approved. "What bank?" I asked. And she froze, like she'd realized she'd said too much. I stepped back inside with the calm I use at work when a VP is yelling that. "The printers are down because someone unplugged them." "Tessa," I said, "open the payout settings right now." She laughed, a humorless sound. "Max," she said, "don't be a buzzkill. People are still giving." Mom appeared behind her like a stage manager. "Make your daughter take the blame and pay it back," Mom said to me, like she was ordering from a menu. Say she misunderstood. Nora looked at me and shook her head the smallest amount. "Not no, not yes. Just stay steady." I didn't scream. I didn't threaten. I just held out my hand. "Phone." "Max," Tessa said, "I am not a child." "I know," I said. "That's why you can open the settings." Everyone drifted toward us like birds finding the same seed. Luke slipped in through the back door. He'd come over uninvited, as usual, and folded his arms. "Fine," Tessa said, and jabbed at her phone with her acrylics. She opened the app, tapped Edit, then Payouts. The line that changed everything was small. Linked bank account, Grandma's account. Account holder, Marlene Carter, my mother's name. Under that, in lighter text, Organizer, my niece. Admin, my sister. I didn't say I knew it. I didn't say anything. I just tilted the phone so Mom could see. She didn't flinch. "It's my house," she said, like we were playing Monopoly, not life. Luke barked a laugh. "Oh, this is rich," he said. "You used the kid as the hook to pay off your cable." "It's propane," Mom said, offended. "And the mortgage." "Say hospital again," Luke said. "I dare you." Tessa squared her shoulders. "Guess your kid is a little faker," she said to me with a mean little smile, like she'd been saving it. She told everyone she had a tummy ache at the Christmas play. "This is what happens when you perform." Nora gasped. I didn't look at her. I kept my eyes on the tiny line of text that said my mother's name next to the 4 masked digits, and I heard myself say, "Okay." It was a calm, "Okay." The kind you say before you put on your coat and walk into the snow. The breaking point wasn't shouting. It was timestamps. At 6:11 p.m., I opened my own bank app and took screenshots. At 6:14, I texted Drew, my boss, and apologized for any confusion caused by a family thing, and asked him not to donate more. At 6:16, he replied, "Got it. Hey, you're good." That little message steadied me. At 6:20, I sat at Mom's kitchen table and made a list on a receipt from Speedway because her notepad had grocery ads scribbled everywhere. Bullet points. Keep it simple. Screenshot of payout settings showing Mom's account and Tessa as admin. Screenshot of fundraiser description with hospitalization, copay, specialist. Screenshot of Ava in the title. Note of total and timestamp. Short statement. No essays. At 6:27, the platform sent an auto update. "You're trending." And the total flashed to $27,140. It was like watching a bruise spreading. At 6:33, the first refund request appeared in the comments because Luke, bless his forward-tilting head, had posted a short, "This is misrepresented," reply with no details. A woman named Annie P. wrote, "Wait, is this not for a medical issue?" Tessa posted, "Please respect privacy." Bella posted a heart, and "We love this community." At 6:45, I gathered the closest people in the living room. I didn't invite the whole zoo, just Mom, Tessa, Bella, Luke, Aunt Liza, because she's kind, and Nora beside me, holding our sleeping kid. Everyone else hovered in the kitchen, pretending to tidy plastic cups. I stood by the TV stand with its porcelain angels and the 1999 photo of Dad at Cedar Point. I'm going to say this once, I said evenly, and then I'm going to take action. Tessa smirked, like she was in a TikTok. He's making a speech, she whispered to Bella. I held up the phone. The fundraiser uses Ava's name. It says hospitalization and copay and lists medical line items. There is no hospitalization, no copay. You linked the payout to Mom's account, with you as admin. That's fraud, Mom said. It's family, as if it were a spell. I'm not asking, I said. I'm telling you to shut it down and issue refunds. Mom's voice sharpened. Don't you dare embarrass me, she snapped. People know me from church. Winter is hard. This is how we get by. I nodded, like I was confirming the wind was cold. Okay, I said. Then this is how I get by. I airplayed my phone to Mom's TV. The big screen filled with the fundraiser page. I clicked About, then Payouts. I zoomed in. The room went quiet in that way where you can hear someone swallow. The proof was simple. One line of text and a name that nobody could argue didn't belong to my mother. Bella whispered, Uncle Max, like I was betraying her. Then I switched to the second screenshot, the paragraph with urgent hospitalization and specialist. Then the third, Ava's photo in the header with a timestamp, created Dec 31st, 11:58 p.m. Then the fourth, the total in bold, $27,140. Luke let out a low whistle. Aunt Liza put a hand over her mouth. Tessa tried one last pivot. You know what? People give for lots of reasons, she said, shrugging. Everyone does this. Rent is health. Heat is health. It's not the court of law. I nodded again. Exactly right, I said. And this isn't a court. It's simpler. I opened the platform's help page and read, with the calm of an IT guy who has read a lot of FAQs at 3 a.m. Misrepresentation violates the terms. Organizers must refund donors upon request. Platform may suspend payouts and reverse funds. I hit report. I selected fraud/misleading. It asked for a summary. I wrote, organizer used child's name and image. Claimed hospitalization that did not occur. Linked payout to grandmother's account for bills. I am the father of the child named. I attached the screenshots and tapped submit. Tessa lunged like I'd pulled a fire alarm. No, 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 she cried. You're going to make it worse. It already is worse, Nora said softly. The first time she'd spoken in 10 minutes. Within 2 minutes, the platform emailed me. We've temporarily paused withdrawals while we investigate. That was step 6, the system responding. Tessa hissed at Bella. Why did you say Grandma's bank? Bella's chin wobbled. You said it was fine, she whispered. Then my phone buzzed with the sound I'd come to dread, the little cash register pop. But this time it was a different app. Cash App. Someone had sent money directly to Mom with a note for Ava. I felt my stomach flip. I opened Mom's iPad and, God forgive me, searched her mail. There it was. A Cash App email with the subject $1,200 received from Michelle W. Timestamped 6:51 p.m. I didn't take a screenshot of that because it wasn't mine to take. I just stared at the subject line and thought about Michelle's kind voice at church when she brought cupcakes to the fall bake sale. Turn off your notifications, I said to Mom. Right now. She crossed her arms. You. Don't tell me what to do in my house. I took a breath, then another. I'm not going to argue, I said. Here's what will happen next. And then I listed the smallest steps I could control, out loud, like a checklist. First, I'm removing Ava's photo from the shared family album. Second, I'm emailing anyone we know personally who donated and explaining that the platform has paused payouts due to misrepresentation, with a link to request a refund. Third, I'm asking the platform to reroute any remaining funds to original donors pro rata, not to you. Fourth, I'm texting the group with a statement so I don't have to keep saying it. Fifth, I'm blocking you from any accounts that have my child's images. Mom's eyes flashed. Don't you dare cut me off from my granddaughter, she said. And there it was, the real threat. Access, I said quietly. Being a grandmother is not a login. Tessa pointed a finger. If you post about this, I will say your daughter lied. Nora stepped forward. Say it, she said. Come on, Tessa. Say it out loud right now. Tessa shut her mouth. The room hummed with all the unsaid words. Then Aunt Liza, who never picks a side, said, This is wrong. To my mother. And those 3 words loosened something in my spine I'd been clenching for 2 decades. I turned off the TV. "We're leaving," I said. "We're taking Ava home." "Don't," Mom said, voice small for once. "It's late. Roads are icy." "We'll go slow," I said. At 7:22 p.m., we zipped Ava into her blue puffer and I carried her to the Subaru. She woke just enough to say midnight was sparkly, then fell back asleep. I buckled her, checked the mirror, and put the car in drive. On the way home, I dictated a text to Nora, and she typed it on my phone because my hands wouldn't stop shaking. New Year's update. The fundraiser uses Ava's name and says she's hospitalized. She's not. The payout was linked to my mother's account with my sister as admin. I've reported it, and the platform paused withdrawals. If you donated, you can request a refund here. Link. If you sent money directly to my mom, ask her directly for a refund. We did not authorize that. We love you. Please don't send money to anything with Ava's name unless it comes from me or Nora. Max. We hit send at 7:49 p.m. I turned off the radio, and we drove in silence. The kind that feels like clean air after a long party. The next 72 hours were a slow-motion undoing, with receipts. Monday, 9:06 a.m., platform email. Fundraiser suspended pending review. Payouts paused. The page was still live, but the donate button was grayed out. The total was frozen at $27,140. Comments flipped to following. Refund requested. What's going on? A few, not your business, but the tide had turned. 11:22 a.m., replies hit my inbox. Raul, refund filed. Michelle, I sent $1,000. We'll handle with your mom. Hugs to Ava. Emma's mom, mad on your behalf. Soup. I answered each with one short, thank you. 12:40 p.m., Tessa posted. Tried to do good. Family tore me down. A cousin tagged me. I didn't bite. 10:03 p.m., Mom's voicemail. People are calling. You made a mess. I saved it. Tuesday, 3:18 p.m., platform asked for proof. I sent Ava's insurance card, a redacted portal note showing a routine December 12th checkup, plus my screenshots. Thank you, they replied. Wednesday, 8:02 a.m., credit union alert. External deposit hold attempt reversed. They tried pushing the payout to Mom's account. Bank refused. I photographed the alert. 10:27 a.m., Bella, I'm sorry. I didn't think. Me. I know. That's why adults have to. She sent a crying emoji and a heart. 2:50 p.m., Aunt Liza. Your mother says you told Ava to lie at Christmas. I laughed. The lie was 3 candy canes and a tummy ache. 9:41 a.m. The next day, Luke texted a photo of my Speedway receipt bullet list. Found your manifesto. I told him to burn it. He did. 12:15 p.m. HR. Need EAP? Me. I'm okay. 4:36 p.m. Platform. Violation confirmed. Donors will be refunded in 3 to 10 business days. Do not solicit alternatives. I forwarded it and muted the family chat. That night, I wrote boundaries like code. Remove Mom/Tessa from the shared album. Change Mom's Wi-Fi to a random string and disable guest. Sign her streaming to free. Log my Apple ID off her iPad. No spot me unless it fits my budget, and I pay vendors directly. Anyone who uses Ava's image for money loses access. No calls after 9 p.m. No Facebook wars. 1 2-sentence statement. Then stop. I slept hard. Blowback tried. Mom posted, honor your mother and father. Tessa posted, toxic people play victim. I ignored it. Proof quiets noise. A screenshot that says, linked bank account. Marlene Carter beside urgent hospitalization and my kid's face. Refunds rolled. By Friday, 2:03 p.m., $12,760. By 7:22 p.m., $4,010. Then, fundraiser unavailable. Michelle still brought cupcakes. Bella, Grandma's mad I told you. Me, you told the truth. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm holding a line. I'm the quiet helper. I am not a resource. Have you ever faced a moment where you had to stand up to family, even when it felt like you were betraying them? What boundaries did you have to draw? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear your stories.